Hello, my name is Margaret and I'm a physiotherapist and Pilates instructor. I'm going to show you a warm-up today using the small Pilates ball. If you've got one of these, they're a really useful piece of small equipment. The idea is that you blow them up but not completely, so they're a little bit squishy. I'm going to show you some alternatives if you don't have one. You can just as well use a small football. This one's slightly deflated, so it's ideal. You really just want something that you can hold between your legs. It's about that size. And just for a bit of fun, I've also got a novelty Batman cushion, just showing you how something of that approximate size would be ideal. So for today I'm going to use the small ball. And don't worry if you don't have anything appropriate. You can have your invisible ball if you want. So we'll start off with the ball between our knees, our feet hip width apart. We're going to close our eyes first. Take a few deep breaths. And just start off by switching off a little bit from everything that's going on around us. And beginning to become a little bit more tuned in to our own body and what we're feeling in our muscles and joints. We're going to start by just gently bending the knees and straightening. And as you do so, because of the fact that you've got the ball between your knees, you'll become a little bit more aware of what you're feeling, not just in the knee joints, but in the muscles around the joints, so particularly in your thigh. And you're trying to just keep that parallel line, so the ball is helping you with that. It's preventing you from letting your knees knock together. In a moment when we take that ball away, we want to try and keep that same line. As always, working on that nice, smooth, fluid movement. One more time, bending and straightening, opening the eyes, and then we're just going to bend the knees, slide our hands down, pick up the ball, and just bring it back and place it in that lower abdominal area. Let's close our eyes again, and this time we're going to gently just sway side to side, shifting our weight so that we feel more pressure through the sole of one foot and then through the other. And as we're doing this, we're noticing that subtle change in muscle tone in the legs. And this is such an important thing, because if we can't recognise that, then we won't know when we're doing our exercises on the mat if we're maybe favouring one side or we're tipping our pelvis, for example. I like to use the image of a pendulum as well. Imagine this ball as a pendulum just hanging and swinging gently side to side. So that pelvis is just gliding left to right. And then we're going to try and find that middle position. So coming back to what we started with, we're going to bend and straighten our knees again, but try and really keep that parallel line. So we haven't got the ball there to guide us, but we're trying to remember what it felt like. And if the image of the pendulum helps, then try and keep that weight even. Try not to let the pendulum sway. Or consider what you're feeling through the soles of your feet. Try and make sure your weight feels evenly distributed. Bending and straightening once more. And then let's open our eyes. We're going to introduce some balance work and some strengthening. So we're going to start to lift the ball up, and as we do so, we're thinking of our posture, nice long spine, open chest. We're going to reach the ball up towards the ceiling, stretching our arms. We're going to imagine that the ball is still between our knees. Squeeze onto that ball, feel the glutes squeeze, keep those ankles strong. Lower down with the heels. Bring that ball down, scan your body as you go. Nice open chest, ribs tucked in, pelvis in neutral. Let's soften our knees again without letting them knock together. Straighten, lift the ball up again, reach it towards the ceiling. Imagine the ball is still between your knees, squeeze and rise on your toes. Feel those strong ankles, glutes working. Lower the heels with control and bring that ball back down. Let's just do that one more time, softening the knees. Straightening up, growing tall. We're going to rise onto our toes, imagining the ball is between your knees. Lower the heels, but this time keep that nice length in the body. Breathe in, grow tall, and we're going to lean over to one side. really opening up that opposite side of the body, and come back to the centre. Grow tall again, breathe in, let's lean over the other way. Coming back up to the centre, and then we're going to lower back down. Let's place the ball on the floor for a moment. I'm just going to move it to one side and you can see my feet. We're going to just do a little bit of loosening now before we prepare to come down onto the mat. So let's just start by lifting one heel and the other. I always like to just work from the ground up because I think it's an easy way to remember everything. So we're just starting with our toe joints. Really simple movement, essential for everyday movements like walking. And then let's add in a little bit of rotation. So we're starting to open up that hip joint a little and really mobilise the ankle and all those small joints in the foot. Let's do the same on the other leg. Opening up, rotating at the hip, spreading those toes out. Apologies for my cracking ankle. Now let's circle inwards. So we're moving the leg in the other way. And then the other leg. And then keeping everything nice and soft, we're just going to give our hips a little wiggle. Keep those knees soft again. Place your hands on your hips, a little bit of a bend at the knees if you can't tell what I'm doing. And then we're going to slowly circle the hips, imagining we've got an invisible hula hoop. And then we're going to circle in the other direction. Keeping those knees soft, we're going to let the arms swing, keeping them low to start with. Straighten up and swing them a little bit higher. And a little bit higher again. And as we've already done our side stretch, we'll just come back to the middle, look up to the ceiling, open our arms, circle round, bend the knees and hang like a rag doll. Drawing the tummy in, we're going to roll up slowly. Give our arms and legs a little shake. Lovely. So one last thing before we come onto the mat. If you've got a ball or anything similar handy, it really doesn't matter, it's just something to hold. We're just going to open our hips a little bit more. So if you can, just circle the hips in a slightly bigger movement, lifting the leg away from the floor. And then just take your legs a little bit further apart, so wider than shoulder width, and try and have your toes pointing outwards. Taking the ball in one hand, we're going to reach up to the side. We're going to draw a circle in the air. We're going to do that side bend again. Bend the knees and let the ball swing down to swoop the floor. Circle up and round again. Lean to the side. Circle round and down again. Let's do that one more time. So softening the knees and no strain on the back. Come back to the centre, draw the tummy in, look at something to help you balance, rise onto your toes, squeeze the bottom, swap hands, bend the knees, and let's do the same thing going the other way. So ball in the opposite hand, leaning to the side, bending, circling round and down. Look up at it if it doesn't make you too dizzy, circle round and down. One more time. Up to the ceiling again, drawing that tummy, tighten the bottom, rise onto the toes, lower down, and give everything a little shake. Okay, so we're ready now to come down onto the mat and begin our session.